I'm going to read from A Clockwork Orange, written by Anthony Burgess. It was banned for its violence. Okay. Dim made the old lit music at that, and I had to smack myself, and I started to tear up the sheets and scatter the bits over the floor, and this writer Mooch went sort of bazoomy and made for me with his zoobies clenched, and showing yellow and his nails ready for me like claws. So that was old Dim's cue, and he went grinning and going and ah for this vexed dithering rot, crack, crack, first left fisty, then right, so that our dear old Droog the red vino on tap, and the same in all places, like it's put out by the same big firm, started to pour and spot the nice clean carpet, and the bits of his book that I was still ripping away at. Res. All this time, this Devojka, his loving and faithful wife, just stood like froze by the fireplace. And she started letting out little malenky creatures, like in time to the like music of old Dim's fisty work. Then Georgie and Pete came in from the kitchen, both munching away, though with their maskies on, you could do that with them on and no trouble. Georgie with like a cold leg of something in one rooker and half a loaf of Kleb, a big dollop of Maslow on it in the other, and Pete with a bottle of beer, frothing its Gulliver off, and a horror show rookerful of, like, plum cake. They went ha, videoing old Dim, dancing around and fisting the Rider Vex so that the Rider Vex started to platch like his life's work was ruined, going boo-hoo-hoo with a very square bloody rot, but it was ha in a muffled eater's way, and you could see bits of what they were eating, and I didn't like that, it being dirty and slobbery, so I said, "Drop that munch." I gave no permission. Grab hold of this Beck here so he can video all and not get away. So they put down their fatty pisha on the table among all the flying paper, and they clopped over to the Rider Beck, whose horn-rimmed otchkis were cracked but still hanging on, and with old Dim still dancing around and making ornaments shake on the mantelpiece. I swept all of them off then. They couldn't shake no more, little brothers. While he fillied with the author of A Clockwork Orange, making his litso all purple and dripping away like some very special sort of a juicy fruit. "All right, Dim," I said. "Now for the other bench. Bog help us all." So he did the strong man on the Devojka, who was still creaching away in a very horror show, four at a bar, locking her rookers from the back, while I ripped away at this and that and the other. And the others going ha, still. Real good horror show grooties they were, that then exhibited their pink glossies. Oh, my brothers, while I entrusted and got ready for the plunge. Plunging I could, slooshy cries of agony, and this rider bleeding Beck that Georgie and Pete held on to nearly got loose, howling, zooming with the filthiest of Slovos that I already knew that the others, and others that he was making up. Then after me it was right old Dim should have his turn, which he did in a beastie, snorty, howly sort of way, with his P.B. Shelley masky taking no notice, while I held on to her. Then there was a changeover, Dim and me grabbing the slobbering righty Vec, who just passed struggling really, only just coming out with slack sort of Slovos like he was in the land, and a milk plus bar, and Beat and Georgie had theirs.